Welcome back to Kiwi Cat's House of Magic, l'Assemblée. Okay, so today is Wednesday, June 11th, year of our Lord 2025. I should be rolling the dice because I'm playing tonight. We shifted from Thursday to Wednesday because my daughter has a scout event tomorrow. She is part of the British Scout troop here in Prague. But some of the lads couldn't make it. So it's just going to be the Genie and I. And we decided we're going to play Modern because 1v1 Commander, it's not that great. It's not that fun. So this is my Modern ecosystem. I haven't showed this for a little while. These are 7 obsolete Modern decks. Some that have never placed. This one in particular, Squirrels, because I built it myself. And it's basically a board game in a box. So all these decks are designed to play well against each other. They're all designed, they have strategies that I think are fun. They're decks that I enjoyed playing. So it's Absent Evolution, Bant Nightfall, Boros Burn, Death and Taxes, Merfolk, and Soul Sisters. And then I just pulled out Squirrels. Squirrels is a deck I built myself, so it's probably not that great. It's fun to play. It's effective, but I don't know, maybe I doubt it's placing in tournaments, let's be honest. Anyway, what I've got is I've got the 4th Overgrown Tomb that I didn't put in. I only got it 3 weeks ago, so time to put it in. I'm not really sure I need it though, because I've got 3 Overgrown Tombs, I've got 4 Woodland Cemeteries, I've got 4 Verdant Catacombs, and one of the things about the deck is I didn't want the mana base to hurt me. Well, the Verdant Catacombs and Overgrown Tombs do make it a lot more consistent, so I have to accept that maybe the mana base will hurt me, and that's okay. So let's go ahead and make that change, and then I'll kind of show you the deck. And I recommend anybody try this. So anybody that, for whatever reason, if your commander group is at a low period, maybe people are going on their summer holidays, maybe some people are moving, changing, whatever, and you need something else to do because you can't get the full group of lads together. If all of you go on MTG Top 8 and look at obsolete Modern decks that you enjoyed playing. So yeah, the Verdant Catacombs are still, they're not really expensive, but they're not cheap either. I mean, Abrupt Decay that's cheap now, Ravenous Squirrel is cheap, Overgrown Tomb, these are foils, so they're not cheap, but if you get non-foils, so you can build a pretty good Modern deck, one that isn't in the meta now, that's fun to play, that you enjoy, for probably 100 or 200 euros. About the same cost as a decent custom-built commander deck. Probably less, actually. So you can see, go for the Zote, that's cheap, even if it's foil. Squirrel Sovereign costs nothing. Valley Rotcaller, really no financial value. But the deck is fun to play because it's resilient, has a lot of synergy. Idea is, so turn one I want either Ravenous Squirrel or a where the hell is it? Squirrel Sanctuary. I want a creature on turn 1, and on turn 2 I either want a Squirrel Sovereign to give that squirrel +1/+1 when it crashes in for 2, or Sylvan Anthem. So I can, again, make the squirrel bigger, and then of course when I cast, when the other squirrels come into play, except for the Valley Rotcaller because he's black, he's not green. So the other squirrels that will come into play, even off of Verdant Command, will trigger the scrying. And there's times on Arena where I've got Sylvan Anthem in play, I cast Verdant Commands with Chatterfang out, and my opponent just concedes because he sees that I can scry for 4, and I'm probably going to find an answer to whatever the hell is bothering me at the time. It doesn't happen a lot, but the few times it has happened is pretty funny. I'm scrying for 4, and then poof, victory. Okay, that was easy. It has 1 copy of Chitter Spitter. As good as it is, it costs 3 mana. It costs another 1 to activate, so essentially costs 4 to get any value out of it. And then of course I have to sacrifice squirrels. So I don't want too many copies of this. And this deck tops out at 4. That's another reason it's so fast. But it's also a reason that it can get overwhelmed. Because even though it's fast, if somebody starts putting down bigger threats I can't deal with, then I just get valued out. I just get pummeled. So I need to put down as many scrolls as quickly as possible, buff them up, and smash face. Tusky Bear of Secrets here is top of the mana curve at 4. Of course, 1/1, indestructible, can't be countered, has to attack every turn. So he can only block the first turn you put him into play. And then after that, he has to attack every turn, so you can't keep him around as an indestructible blocker. You know, that was intentional. So, but whenever creature control deals combat damage to player, draw a card. So the trick is to have more creatures than my opponent does, and get those cards. Oh, and Unearth. Unearth is another great card in here. Let me find one. So, people kill my creatures, or I sacrifice creatures to kill one of theirs using Chatterfang's ability. So for 1 black, I can bring back any creature in the deck except for Toski. And he's indestructible, so he shouldn't need bringing back much. The sideboard it's tuned for the other 6 decks in this battle box, but it's also tuned against the Genie, which I'm going to play against tonight. He has Hardened Scales. He has Yawgmoth Combo. What else does he? He's got at least 3 modern decks. I forget his third one. But I've got Cursed Totem. So if he's going to do Hardened Scales, he's going to be running Arcbound Ravager. He's going to be running Walking Ballista. So I can shut it off. Of course, it shuts off Chatterfang too. But in my deck, that's the only thing it shuts off. It just shuts off Chatterfang's sacrifice ability. His triggered ability of doubling my tokens, that still goes. So I've got 3 of those. I'd really like to have the Mirage ones, but they're kind of expensive. So I got these cheap. This is the 4th Abrupt Decay. If I'm running against artifacts, then I will take out, I believe I have 1 Chatterstorm in here. I'll take out the Abrupt Decays if destroying artifacts or enchantments are more important. Put in Sundering Growth, because it has this night. I wish this was on Arena. Destroy target artifact or enchantment, then populate. I'm running 2 copies of Broken Fall in my Arena Scrolls deck because I don't have Sundering Growth, which is a lot better. Go for the 4th copy. I believe I'm only running 2. I don't really like Chatterstorm. I like that it creates squirrel tokens. I like that it has Storm. I do not like that it's a fucking sorcery. It's irritating. I don't understand why they didn't push it. I mean, they could have made it an uncommon or a rare and made it an instant, and it would be a much better card, but it would still have very little financial value, I think, because I really don't see where anybody else would play it. I mean, who the hell is playing Tribal Squirrels? Let's look at another deck before I have to bugger off and go meet the Genie for tonight's event. Let's look at Merfolk. This is my premier deck, Merfolk. I keep it semi-maintained for the overall metagame. If I were to play in a tournament, if I had time to enter a modern tournament, this is the deck I would take. Problem is, my OGS, they have modern tournaments on Monday. It starts at 5 o'clock. That's ready to, it kicks off at 5. When do I get off work? 5 o'clock. Can I get across town in 0 minutes? Hell no. So I don't go to the tournaments. So anyway, let's look at the main. I mean, it's pretty basic merfolk. You've got lords, you've got mutavaults, Vidalian sex catchers. Force of negation. I want to take this out. I want Flare of Denial. I haven't bought those yet because it's modern. I don't play it that often, so the pressure to keep it maintained, to update my modern deck, it's just not there. Yeah, I did get that shock land and fetch lands for, well, the fetch lands I actually swapped around some fetch lands in my other collection, so I didn't actually buy them for the Squirrel deck. The shock lands, yes, I did buy them, but 1 or 2 months ago, I think, maybe a month ago. It's been a while. So I haven't bought anything from my modern decks for a while. I've got 4 Force and Negations in here. I got these about 2-3 years ago when I made that big deal from Ren. But I'm not sure what I would do with them. So I've got a full playset. I would put 2 in one of my vintage decks, powered by China. All the expensive cards are Chinese counterfeits in my vintage decks, so if you see me play Mox, don't get too excited. It's not worth what you think it is. But Flare of Denial would be better in this deck. For Force and Negation, of course, 1 blue, or if it's not your turn, you may exile blue card from your hand rather than pay the spell's mana cost. Counter target non-creature spell. If it's countered, exile instead. Flare of Denial, of course, same, 1 blue. And as I recall, it doesn't have the, if it's your turn, it doesn't care. It's just, you can sacrifice a non-token blue creature instead of paying the mana cost and counter target spell. Doesn't exile it, just counters it. So, want to get 4 of those. I'm not sure if I would keep any Force and Negations in this deck or not. Maybe I should just run fucking counterspell. Maybe I should. That's in modern now. That's probably a good idea. For Ether Vials. As far as I know, Merfolk still does not have any really good 1-drops. So 1 blue for a 1/2 Island Walker. It's been a 1 tap target land. And Tide Shaper. Really, he costs 2 because you want to kick him. Unless your opponent has an island. If your opponent has an island, then you're golden. You don't need to kick him. And then he does cost 1. Otherwise, he costs 2, not 1. So you can turn a land into an island, so he becomes 2/2. And shuts off that mana source. So Merfolk Tricksters. Blue 2/2 Merfolk Wizard. Flashy. When it hits play, tap target for creature and opponent controls. Loses all abilities until the end of the turn. So they're attacking. You trick the creature, and then you block and kill it. And some more Sex Catchers. Another Lord. Cavern of Souls. I've had those for years. Had them for a long time. I've had this deck for... Jesus, when did I start playing Merfolk? I got into Modern before I got into Commander. Or right around the same time, it feels like. I can't remember... exactly, but... yeah, had it for a while. Smuggler's Copter. Kind of a combo with something here. I'll get... There it is. So, Smuggler's Copter, 2 colors for a 3/3 flying vehicle. Whenever it attacks or blocks, you may draw a card. If you do, throw away a card. Crew 1. Tapping number of creatures you control. Yeah, it becomes a vehicle. Yeah, we all know how it works. Deep Root Pilgrimage, 1 in a blue. Whenever one or more non-token merfolk you control become tapped, create a 1/1 blue merfolk creature token with Sexproof. You can crew this as much as you want. So if I've got 4 non-token creatures that are untapped, and this doesn't say only on your turn. So at the end of my opponent's turn, I can crew this 4 times and make 4 tokens. Kind of handy, kind of neat. Yeah, it's Fighting in the Sea and Sky. Nikachu in his deck, he's running 4. I'm only running 3. I think I've only got 3 in the deck right now. Because he doesn't care if he draws an extra because Force and Negation. But if I take those out, put Flare of Denial, I'm going to want more. But it's got a lot of non-token creatures, so I'm probably safe. 1 blue for a 3/4 Merfolk God. She should be a goddess, shouldn't she? I mean, really? Anyway, so she's a god. Indestructible as long as I have at least 2 of the merfolk. Doesn't say non-token. Just, deeper pilgrimage. If I've made 2 tokens, she's indestructible. That's all I have otherwise. Whenever she attacks, draw a card. And by the merfolk, it ward 1. So she's great in this deck. Looking forward to playing it. I think I'll play this first against the Genie and see what happens. Minamo School at Water's Edge, and I've got a Boro in here in case somebody plays Choke. There's a game years ago when I was able to play modern tournaments. My opponent was playing green, and she cast Choke. Well, I had a Boro, so I was able to beat her playing mono blue merfolk through Choke because of a Boro. It's a very memorable game, obviously, if I still can talk about it. And more lords. That's kind of it. That's merfolk in a nutshell. At least this build. So it's got 8 lords. It's got the sex catchers. It's got the merfolk Pearl Tribe, and got lords of Atlantis. Sideboard. I don't know why I still have Relic of Progenitus in here, but I do. I don't even remember what this was against, to be honest. Some flavor of Reanimator, I'm sure. But it's been so long that I don't even remember. Capella Warden of Waves. So if I want to give my merfolk more protection, 1 blue for a 2/2 merfolk wizard. Spells your opponent's cast target a merfolk control, including him. 2 more to cast. Abilities, opponents that would target a merfolk control also cost 2 more to activate. So, Thieving Skydiver. This is against, pretty much against the Genie. So I can steal his Walking Ballista. Or try to, because he'll just take off all the counters and kill something. It's too bad it doesn't have flash, though. With Ether Vial, I can kind of flash into play. And when she flashes into play off a Vial, I can steal his Ink Moth Nexus. Gain control of target artifact with CMC XLS. Doesn't say on land, so if he pumps up the fucking Nexus and tries to infect me to death, bang! Violin? No, I can't. I can't kick it. That doesn't work. That doesn't work at all. Okay, anyway. Maybe I should read the cards sometimes. If I haven't looked at something for a while, I should probably read it before running my mouth. But that's not the way we do things here. Percasol. Un bleu. Ephemeré. Counter a non-creature spell unless its controller pays 2. Vapor Snag. Maybe I should take these out because I'm not playing Troll Worship anymore. I took that deck apart. It was just too slow. It didn't really... Sometimes it would win, but if you couldn't put the Worship and the Hexproof creature together, it just wasn't fast enough. But I had Vapor Snag in here, so if somebody is hiding behind a Worship and they've got a creature I can't deal with, as soon as they lay down a Noble Hierarch, or if they have a Noble Hierarch, if I've got them down to 1 life and they're like, haha, I've got Worship and I've got Troll Ascetic and you can't kill me, motherfucker. Which actually happened. My friend was playing Troll Worship and did that, and then for some reason he played a Noble Hierarch. I was like, I could Vapor Snag that, so I did, and he lost his last life because it's lose life. And he said, oh, maybe I shouldn't have played that Hierarch. Yeah, did you need her? Did she give you anything? Probably not. Anyway, let me get the hell out of here and go